Hi, everybody. Welcome to our story time now. Put your hands up if you love books. Yeah, anybody? Good, good, good. Wow, loads of you love books. Well, I'm going to tell you a story about a little boy who loved books, but not in the right way. And he got himself into some trouble. Have a little think. Can you guess what this little boy might do with books that he shouldn't? Yeah, that's a good idea. Or you think he might use the books to build with? That's a good idea. Yeah. The trouble is when you build something tall with books and then they fall, you could break their spine, couldn't you? You think he might use books to build a raft? That is a really crazy idea. Yeah, because the books would just get all soggy and then they would sink and then nobody could read them. Well, those are some good ideas. Let's find out what this boy does with his books. Ready? The Incredible Book Eating Boy. Okay, what about your prediction now? What do you think the boy is going to do with the books? Eat them! Ooh. Wow, I didn't think eating books would be very tasty. I've eaten a lot of things, but I've never tried books. Maybe I'm missing something? Let's have a look at this book and find out what happens. So, the author of this book is Oliver Jeffers, and the book is called The Incredible Book Eating Boy. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the story to you first without stopping, and then we'll go back and have a look because the pictures in this book are incredible. Okay, here we go. Oh, here's a little blurb. So, Henry loved books, but not like you and I love books. No, not quite. Okay. Oh, there's a nice. Oh, wow. Look at that book. It's got like some teeth marks coming out of it. Here's the title page: The Incredible Book Eating Boy by Oliver Jeffers. Wow. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books in his mouth. Oh, look at that. I love that writing. That bubble writing is really clever, isn't it? Okay, here we go. Henry loved books, but not like you and I love books. No, not quite. Henry loved to eat books. It all began quite by mistake. One afternoon, when he wasn't paying attention, he wasn't sure at first and tried eating a single word just to test. Next, he tried a whole sentence and then the whole page. Yep, Henry definitely liked them. By Wednesday, he had eaten a whole book. And by the end of the month, he could eat a whole book in one go. The Incredible Book Eating Boy. Wow, he's on the stage. Henry loved eating books, all sorts of books. Storybooks, dictionaries, atlases, joke books, books of facts, even maths books. Who'd have thought maths books would be tasty? But red ones were his favourite. And he was going through them at a fierce great. But here's the best bit. The more he ate, the smarter he got. He ate a book about goldfish and he knew what to feed Ginger. Before long, he could do his father's crosswords in the newspaper and was even smarter than his teacher in school. Can you imagine being smarter than your teacher in school? Wow, Henry loved being smart. He thought that if he kept going, he might even become the smartest person on earth. So he kept eating books, and he kept getting smarter and smarter and smarter. He went from eating books whole to eating them 3 or 4 at a time. Books about anything. Henry wasn't fussy, and he wanted to know it all. But then things started going not quite so well. In fact, they started going very, very wrong. Henry was eating too many books, and too quickly at that. He was beginning to feel a little ill. But here's the worst bit. Everything he was learning was getting mixed up. He didn't have time to digest it properly. It became quite embarrassing for him to speak. Suddenly, Henry didn't feel very smart at all. More than one person told him that he should stop eating books. So Henry gave up eating books and sat sadly for a long time. What was he to do? Then, after a while, and almost by accident, Henry picked up a half-eaten book from the floor. But instead of putting it in his mouth, Henry opened it up and began to read. It was so good. Henry discovered that he loved to read, and he thought that if he read enough, he might still become the smartest person on earth. It would just take just a little bit longer. Now, Henry reads all the time, although every now and then I think he's taking a bite out of this book too. Oh, there's a little piece of broccoli on the back. Oh, and that's the end of the... Let's go back to this book. Absolutely brilliant, isn't it? So funny. But also, I don't know if you noticed, the way the artist has illustrated this book is fantastic. Let's just find out who... So we know who the author was. The author was Oliver Jeffers. But I wonder who did the illustrations. Who illustrated it? Oh, wow! Oliver Jeffers did the illustrations as well as the story. That's amazing. So look what he's done. Oliver Jeffers has actually got real books, real old books, and he's painted over them, because you can see some of the words coming through here. He's actually painted over them and then used that page as his canvas to be able to do his drawings on. So there he is, look, sitting at his table with, I think this is probably his dad and his sister. Look at this. I love this picture. Can you see? It says, it all began quite by mistake one afternoon when he wasn't paying attention. So look, he's kind of looking at his cat and his tongue's coming out of the side of his mouth and he's just sort of licking the book by accident. And that's when he realizes, books, tasty. So then he starts eating them page by page. And then look at this page, it's fantastic. Can you see down here, there's a really big spine of an old book. And the book's been opened out as if you did it like this, with the spine down the middle. And it's been drawn, it's been painted over. And then Oliver Jeffers has made an amazing picture, like the boy is at the theatre and he's eating the book. People have actually gone to the theatre to see the incredible book-eating boy. And now on this page, look, it shows like all the different types of books he likes. So look at this book here. This book is called Moby Dick, which is a book, and a very old, famous book, okay, about fishing. And look at that. What's he eating with it? Chips. He's got fish and chips. And here, look what he's doing. He's liquidizing. He's liquidizing the book, turning it into a book juice. And then this one, he's just taking them off the shelf. And here, do you remember what colour his favourite books were? Red. What flavour could they be if they were red? Good. Strawberry. Yeah, good. Cherry. Raspberry. Yeah, good. Red apple. Pomegranate. Wow, fantastic. Yeah. Plum. Yeah, good one. Yeah, grapes. Yeah, red grapes. Brilliant. Tomato. Oh, no. And I like this bit. So it says, but here is the best bit. Do you remember what the best bit was about eating the books? So he started to take in the information. So every book he was eating, all the information in that book was going into his brain. And so the more he ate, the smarter he got. If you look at this page, it's really clever. So it's got A, book goes in. So it's like a diagram, isn't it? Book goes in here. B, information goes to brain. Brain gets bigger. And then here, belly gets full. So wow, look at that. So he has a new goldfish. And in order to find out what to do with the goldfish, he just swallows the book about goldfishes and he knows what to do. And with his dad here, his dad doesn't know how to do the crossword. I don't know if you can see, but he's saying, And the incredible broccoli eating boy, do we know his name? No, I don't think the book tells us his name, does it? Well, the little boy comes up and he says, monumental. Wow, how does he know a word monumental? Monumental is amazingly big, like a monument. And then this page, can you believe it? And was even smarter than his teacher in school. That's impossible, isn't it? You can't be smarter than your teacher. Well, maybe you can. So look at this one. I love this word, smarter. Do you notice it's got ER on the end? So that adjective is describing how smart he is compared to his teacher. So it's a comparative adjective. And so smarter, he is smarter than his teacher. And if there was nobody else in the class who was as smart as he was, then do you know what he would be? What's the superlative? He would be the smartest. That's it. He'd be the smartest. Brilliant. He probably is the smartest, actually. Oh, and look at this. So this is in his dreams now. He's imagining that if he eats all the books that he possibly can, that he'll be the smartest. There we are. He'll be the smartest person in the whole of the earth. Wow. So he's imagining getting a lovely big medal that says, what do you think it says on it? Yeah, smartest person on earth. Dun dun dun. Wow. So he kept eating books. And lovely, look, it's got a page from an atlas on here. There's another one there that's just been coloured over. And oh, here, look, he's in a quiz show on television. And he's got 4,367 points. And this man over here has got 0. And he's just walking away. He's given up. It's just like, oh, I can't beat this boy. So he gets smarter and smarter and smarter from eating books. But then, do you remember? Uh-oh, something happens. Oh, can you see this? Look, he's lying in bed and he's having a dream, but the dream's been painted in black. What type of dream do you think he's having? Brilliant. He's having a nightmare. And in his nightmare, a scary thing's happening. And what's happening? Have a look at that picture. Yeah. Look, a great big book that he's gone to try and eat is now chasing him and saying, I'm gonna eat you. Wow, he looks very scary. And if you notice, he's red. I bet the book-eating boy looked at that massive red book and just thought, ooh, yes, my favourite. And then in his dreams, suddenly the book turns and starts chasing him. Oh, but that wasn't the only thing. Not only did he start having dreams, but look, bite, chew, 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 gulp, green. Why did it say green? Gulp, green. Greener. There's the comparative. Greenest. There's the superlative. And, oh, what's he doing? Hang on. It says, oak. Boke? What does boke mean? Oh, there's a little asterisk there. Let me have a look down the bottom. It says, an Irish word for ejecting the contents of your stomach. Oh, being sick, vomiting. Oh, that's disgusting. So now he's starting to feel ill by eating books because he's just eating too many of them. It's the same with anything. If you eat too much of something, it's going to make you sick. Have you ever played that game where you have to put marshmallows in your mouth? It's called Chubby Bunny, and you have to keep putting more and more marshmallows in and still say the phrase. It's a bit like that. You can have too much even of marshmallows. And so everything starts going wrong until, here, look, when he goes to speak, all the letters of the words are coming out in the wrong order. And so he's just saying nonsense. On here it says, Flotsa shufo o webo uaig. I don't know what that means, and I'm pretty smart. Wow, yeah, it's all gone nonsense. Oh, look here. 2 + 6 = elephant. 6 add 2 = 3. He really, really is getting this wrong, isn't he? What's 6 add 2? Oh, good. Just checking. What's 2 add 6? Okay. And so look, in class, when the teacher's asking a question, he's too scared now even to answer. In fact, it's not that he's too scared to answer, he doesn't know the answer. Oh, he doesn't feel very smart anymore. See, he was really proud, wasn't he, about being the smartest person in the world. But now he doesn't feel proud at all. And this page is interesting because it says that more than one person had told him that he should stop eating books. So let's have a look, see if you could guess who these people are. Who's this person here? Good. So that's his dad. So his dad had noticed his behaviour and his dad had told him to stop. Who do you think this is in a long white coat? And ooh, what's this instrument around his neck with 2 earpieces, a tube, and a little metal bit on the end? Good, a stethoscope. So that must be a doctor. Brilliant. And it says, your head and belly can't cope. Oh, so the doctor's giving him medical advice as to why he should stop eating. And And what about this one here? Besides, it means no one else can enjoy them. Oh, wow. Where have I seen him before? That great big red book. From his nightmares. Also, even in his dreams, he's being told not to eat books. And that's interesting, isn't it? The book says, because you're eating books, it means no one else can enjoy them. So what's that called when you do something and it stops other people from being able to enjoy it? Yeah, being selfish, unkind. Yeah, when you're like stopping somebody else doing something, or you're just doing something just for yourself and stopping other people from being able to enjoy it. Um, oh, and who's this little man at the end? He says, you owe a total of. You owe a total of. You might mean buying books. If you owe something, it means you need to pay it. Oh, I know. He could be a librarian. You know, if you go to the library, you can borrow books, but if you don't return a book, sometimes you have to pay for it. Oh, well, of course. Why hasn't he returned the books? Because he's eaten them. Oh, and now he has a fine. He owes the library all of this amount of money because he hasn't returned the books. Oh, so he does stop eating books, which is good, but this picture, you can see again, this one's actually been coloured on top of a dictionary. It's been drawn over the top of a dictionary. And it says that he's feeling really sad because he doesn't know what to do. And then this is good, isn't it? So at the end, he finds a book that's on the floor, picks it up, and what's it say? Then after a while, and almost by accident, Henry picked up a half-eaten book from the floor, but instead of putting it in his mouth, what does he do? He opens it up. So if it says he opens it up, what do you think he's going to do opening it up? Think he's going to lick it on the inside? No, that's right. He's going to read it, isn't he? And he begins to read. And he realises actually books can be just as enjoyable if you read them. But in fact, it takes a little bit longer. Now, you can learn something from this as well. You know, if you're eating things, and Mr. Palmer is very bad at this, you can put something in your mouth and swallow, and it's just gone down. And then, because you haven't given your body time to kind of enjoy the flavour of it, you want to put something else in your mouth really quickly as well. And so sometimes you could just keep pushing things into your mouth and not really chewing them and enjoying the taste. And if you do that, you'll end up eating more food than you actually need. Whereas if you put food in and you chew it and you enjoy it, then your body gets to savour the flavour as well as helping your body to digest it. You'll find that you don't want to eat as much as you do. And that's usually a good thing if you're eating something which is bad for you. Like he was eating books, but sometimes we could be eating sweets or cakes or crisps, things that we shouldn't have a lot of. And if we eat them slowly, then we won't eat as much and it won't do so much damage to us. Okay, so this is all about being controlled, doing things slowly and enjoying the thing that you're doing. And so he realised that actually he could be smart, and he could even be smarter than his teacher if he kept reading, and in fact he could even be the smartest in the world if he kept reading. It just might take him a little bit longer to achieve that desire. And then what I love here, look, on the wall, he hasn't stopped wanting to be the best at something. It's got the incredible broccoli eating boy. So now look how much broccoli he's got there. Oh, what do you think might happen if he keeps eating too much broccoli? Yeah. Do you remember what that Irish word was? Boke. Yeah. It's going to be sick, isn't it? Even if he eats all that broccoli, he might even turn green. But then I love the last bit. Look on the page. And Henry reads all the time, although every now and then, and isn't that clever? It doesn't say, although every now and then he takes a bite out of a book. It just leaves us with that impression that that's what he does, because it's just cut out a bit of the page. So we have to infer, we have to decide what that means. And that's good, isn't it? So although every now and then he takes a bite out of a book, but at least he stops there. I think he might just take a bite and stop. So I hope you enjoyed that story. It's brilliant, isn't it? So that's why there's a broccoli at the end, of course, because that's how it finishes off, with him being the incredible broccoli eating boy. That's great. Maybe you could come up with your own story about the incredible broccoli eating boy and give it a really good twist or a really good ending. You could have a really good problem in it that you've got to resolve as well. If you come up with a really good story, then you can send it to postbox at whitehall-i.warsaw.sch.uk and address it to Mr. Palmer, and I'll have a read of that for you. Oh, who's this? Oh, look at that. That's Oliver Jeffers when he was a little boy. It says that he is from Northern Ireland, that he's a painter and a writer and a reader, and he went to university and he graduated from the University of Ulster, and he's even had his artwork exhibited, that means to be shown for people to go and have a look at, in London, New York, Sydney, Belfast and Glengormley. That doesn't sound a very famous city. Where's Glengormley? It says Oliver has never eaten a book, although he has thought about it once and decided not to. He ate Weetabix instead and fed a book to his younger brother. It did not make him smarter, but it did encourage him to recycle after 3 or 4 days. I wonder what that means. Oliver Jeffers' first picture book, Now How to Catch a Star, was an immediate international success. Oh wow, so he's written more than one book. So he's written one, How to Catch a Star. Lost and Found, isn't that the one with the little penguin on the front? Oh, brilliant. So why don't you track down some more Oliver Jeffers books, and then you can enjoy reading some other ones by him. I'm sure he wrote one about the Hueys. I'll try and find that book and read that to you as well. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed The Incredible Book Eating Boy. I'll see you again soon. Bye.